They argued, they screamed, and then they left. This is the story of a child who learned what loneliness means before he learned how to grow up. Watch till the end and subscribe for real stories that stay with you. Ethan was 7 years old the first time he learned how loud silence could be. It wasn't the kind of silence that came at night when the world slept. It was the silence that followed screaming. That evening, his parents had been fighting again. Plates shattered against the wall. A chair fell. His mother cried. His father shouted words Ethan was too young to understand, but old enough to feel. Ethan sat on the cold floor of his small bedroom, hugging his knees, pressing his hands over his ears. He counted slowly in his head, like he always did. 1, 2, 3. He hoped that if he counted high enough, the noise would disappear. It never did. Ethan's house was small, but the anger inside it felt endless. His father, Mark, came home late almost every night. When he did, he smelled of smoke and bitterness. His eyes were always tired, but never gentle. His mother, Lisa, used to smile once. Ethan remembered that smile from long ago, back when he was little enough to be carried. Now she barely looked at him. They argued about money. They argued about mistakes. They argued about things Ethan didn't understand. But every argument ended the same way, with Ethan alone. Sometimes his parents forgot he existed. Other times they remembered him only to remind him that he was a burden. "Why are you just standing there?" his father once yelled. "Go to your room." So Ethan went. He always went. The night they left him behind was quiet. Too quiet. Ethan woke up thirsty. The house was dark. No lights, no voices. "Mama?" he whispered. No answer. He walked into the living room. The couch was empty. His father's shoes were gone. His mother's coat was missing. The door was unlocked. At first, Ethan thought they had gone to the store. Then hours passed. Morning came, and they still didn't return. Ethan sat by the door all day, waiting. When night fell again, the silence returned, louder than ever. That was the night Ethan learned what abandonment felt like. Neighbors eventually noticed. Social workers came. Questions were asked, but answers were few. His parents never came back. No goodbye, no explanation, no apology. Ethan was sent to a temporary shelter, then another, then another. Every place felt unfamiliar. Every bed smelled different. Every ceiling looked strange. He learned not to unpack his bag. He learned not to get attached. He learned that people leave. At school, Ethan was quiet. Teachers called him well-behaved. They didn't know that silence was his shield. Other kids talked about family dinners, birthday parties, and vacations. Ethan talked to no one. At night, he cried quietly into his pillow so no one would hear. He wondered what he had done wrong. Was I too loud? Was I not good enough? Why didn't they want me? These questions followed him everywhere. As Ethan grew older, the sadness changed. It turned into anger.
He lashed out. He skipped classes. He got into fights. Not because he wanted to hurt others, but because pain demanded somewhere to go. Adults labeled him troubled. No one asked why. No one listened. One winter afternoon, everything shifted. Ethan was sitting alone on a bench outside school when an older man sat beside him. "You don't talk much," the man said gently. Ethan shrugged. "That's okay," the man smiled. Sometimes
Mr. Harris helped Ethan with homework. He taught him how to fix broken things. He listened. Slowly, Ethan opened up. For the first time, someone didn't walk away. The pain didn't disappear, but it became lighter. Ethan's life didn't magically improve. He struggled. He failed. He doubted himself. But he kept going. Because somewhere deep inside, a small voice whispered, "Your past doesn't define your future." Years later, Ethan stood in front of a group of children at a shelter, children who looked just like he once did, scared, quiet, alone. He said, "I know it hurts," softly. "I know it feels unfair." He said, "But you are not broken. You are not invisible, and you are not alone." His voice shook, but he spoke anyway. Some wounds never fully heal, but some stories don't end where the pain begins. Ethan's story wasn't about being abandoned. It was about surviving abandonment and choosing to keep living anyway.